the Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's the rest.
Yeah.
Now we define.
Wow. It's
So-
shuv. It's shuv with the tav on the end. Turn to love.
Turn to love.
Turn to love.
Or be consumed in building love.
Exactly.
That's how you
The
find
consuming process of building that which is needed in covenant, which gives you the power to be marked in the sign signature frequency of love.
So now we just define what Sabbath is. Sabbath is building love.
Love.
We live in the Sabbath by building love. You don't need to pick a day now. And this takes religion all to pieces. Because what you're doing is you're building the frequency of love through the spirit of love every day is a Sabbath. This is how you enter rest. So it again, what does it do? It diminishes, really pointing and saying it's this and it's that. It's on this day. No.
Well, because all of that does is just divide, right?
Well, so let's go,
divide and judge.
right?
You aren't keeping the right day. Oh, no, you aren't keeping the right day, when every day should be about this.
So let's take it to 7:6, 7:3.
That's a really good point, Ken. Thank you. All right.
Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To
So-
keep and observe the Sabbath.
Right. And to stop from all the exertion. You want easy flow of life? Then build love. You want to wrestle? Then don't build love. You can build a void if you want to. But if you choose to follow the template of Father, then you will build love and you will find the rest that you're seeking. This is the purpose.
Oh
of
my
life.
gosh. It's, hello, it's Bet Tav.
It's the Bet
It's
Tav.
Sheen,
Bet
Bet
Tav.
Tav, the fire that builds love.
Yes.
Duh,
That's Sabbath.
duh.
Yeah.
And it's the measurement.
It's the measurement.
It's Bath, it's daughter, and it's Bath, it's the measure.
So
The measure of love.
it's the measure of love.
Oh my goodness. And then because it's a liquid measure, it's what's being taught through the teachings of Mother and Father, the living waters. Because their whole teaching is the liquid measurement of love. Are you resonating to that frequency?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So what you're seeking is really this.
So Mother's teaching the external portion of love. Like how to love people and how to love God appropriately through conditions. Right? So I enter into a marriage with you. I set boundaries. You set boundaries. It makes it safe so that we can then experience Father's message of love, which is the inward portion,
Why was
to
Father
unconditional.
Why was Father removed from the garden? We all have a portion of Mother. That's the bitter walk of the earth is the memoresh is Mar. That's why Abraham, we had the sacrifice at Moriah. It's the fire sacrifice. Build the altar to sacrifice on the fire at Moriah. You're going to have to experience this fire of consuming the Ish. And what does it do? It reveals the greater measure. Father had to leave the garden, which is ourselves. It's the Gam. Right? He left again until we can seek the fullness of being filled back up so the Father can then indwell in us again. And so that was the separation, was the separation of Father.
This is why, wow. So when we hold somebody, so in marriage, we get married and we have a wedding contract, right? I am holding you to this external contract of external marriage.
You're holding me to the contract.
You're binding them into a lesser frequency of love. These are the conditions. We're supposed to stay with each other until death do us part.
Right.
And this is why we get loveless marriages.
Right.
Because they're held to these conditions that the church says that you're married until death do you part, and people will stay bound in that agreement, and then they lose sight because they never found love unconditional, which was the whole purpose.
Which is death. You're fully consumed as an ash heap. Love, I bind myself in close proximity for the sake of journeying as we walk as an expression of love. I do it unto death. Right? In its right frequency, what it's saying, I will be fully consumed in the measure of love, and I will be death, which is really life.
Right, because it's death to
But
self-ego.
we've
Right? It's death to self-ego that says you must love me this way
right.
or
But
else.
what have we done? We've transmuted it into a frequency that is binding, contractual, in a lesser reality, and therefore we're held to a lesser construct.
So we never experience.
So now we're reinforcing the inversion by contracts that never allow us to seek the definition of love.
And this is why that one phrase, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, if it was yours. If it doesn't come back to you, it never was.
These are great talking points.
Wow.
Yeah. So so absolutely. Wow. The Father was taken out of us. We all have to go through the bitter walk. If we see it correct, this is why this needs to be established this is why the foundation, right, of Ashurah
Right.
needs to be established so we know what love is.
Right, because we have a totally we have a misconception of it.
We have immature love.
Yes, we do.
We don't know what mature love
So
is.
mature love is love without conditions.
It's the unconditional conditions of love.
Right.
Tabni.
The pattern.
The Spirit says, walk this way in unconditional love, but you are going to be formed into the conditions of love.
Because you have to learn how to love because you forgot it.
It's the oxymoron of becoming one.
You're one already.
Right. But the conditions are, don't go that way, because that is a void to love. So the conditions are set there as parameters, as peripheral guidelines to assist you in becoming one full one again, as you were from your first estate. Because we fell into love from our first estate for the purpose of experience.
So in other words, every experience is the recalibration. So you go down one path, well, didn't find love there. So then you recalibrate and you head another way. Oh, didn't find love there. So you continue recalibrating and recalibrating because instinctually we know what that is. We've forgotten it, but there's something that pulls us to it.
Right.
That's really amazing.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. It's a lot to really. It changes your whole perspective. You just got to slow it down a little bit and ponder what has been told to us, and then what is being extracted to see. And this is why it's so powerful when we are intimately engaged in the frequency of intention. It speaks such depth and volumes that it makes it very difficult to go. We have to go interact with the world to release these frequencies, but we can broadsword now through the platform of internet to reach the world where 12 had to walk. We can now walk as many, right?
Yeah.
So let's go here. So now we were talking about the rest. We got to get going here. So let's get on to because I want to fill up even the word of Shabbat. So let's go to 7650.
Only thing I'm going to say is that shuv, that is how you see many times the word yeshav. It's rendered as to settle. And a lot of times it's written as shin bet. And it's also a word that means to marry. To settle as if married. So.
Okay. So perfect.
Where are we going now?
7650.
7650. Okay. Shava. To swear.
No, this is the basis of Shabbat. Shabbat is based on the process of severing oneself. So when we say you're severing yourself, that this is an oath, and you can bring up. You can also go to.
Oops. Nice.
Go to.
I'm just going to go down and share to 7 oneself. Okay. Repeating 7 times. Okay, but it also means to complete.
It means to complete, to be fed to the full.
From Sheba.
So now you're consumed in the fire essence that has surrounded you, and now has been extracted out, and it's pulling you in the direction. The Bet Tov is still there, just the Tov is hidden. And so you're still building the Bet Tov through now the Ayin. What is completion now? Because this tells you what complete. This is the Ayin, which is to Yada. This is the eye, the all-seeing eye of knowing through the experience of what you are and have you built.
Okay, so through the fire, mm-hmm. And then you have the Bet to build that which sees.
That's what sees.
Yeah.
You are now knowing.
Yeah.
You are now made full and complete.
Yeah.
So
You've been filled to the
if
full.
it was a temple, this ayin is also the representation of an eye.
hmm
In the paleo, it's an eye rendering. So if I was to say to be completed as a temple, you could draw a pyramid and put an eye on top of it and say you completely are built as a representation of a temple, and you're able to see all right now.
So that means that you have been able to see the system of duality and you've rendered everything clear.
So what I've just done, yes, absolutely.
And so what you did, what they have perverted,
Yes,
you just put right.
right.
The thing that they turned upside down, you put right side up.
It's not to be feared, it's to
No.
be embraced. To say, if you've seen that, then they're just they might just be telegraphing from a lesser perspective. But I can tell you that unless it's established in love, it hasn't reached its full measure potential.
But I can see that because in their perverting and what they've done in presenting the all-seeing eye as the shadow group that is trying to control and manipulate us, they are the catalyst as the boot of the oppressor so that we would rise up and find these ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we throw off our shackles because we become that, which they're trying to suppress. They're actually making us rise into.
Yeah, the boot of oppression always strengthens the neck of those it stands upon. So absolutely. So go to 791 because
Just 791?
791. Ajur.
Yep.
So now we want to know how we adjudicate correctly. It's by rendering love is where we find adjudication. This is the root really for adjudication. Really what it means is under oath, I declare truth. This is adjudication.
Under oath.
I declare truth.
And just took that whole word Shabbat and put an Aleph in front of it.
Yes. As one now, I stand as adjudicated, as an adjuring of self, and I stand under oath declaring the truth.
That I am fire.
I am fire.
I have built love and I see all.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Does that not, like that? No, that resonates to a frequency, does it not?
Ooh, I felt that.
Right.
Oh my.
So again, seeing it as one thing, resonating to the frequency is another. So I release that into even the teaching.
Absolutely.
That it would resonate outwardly to all the lovely people that are compressing love right now.
And right in the middle is Shuv.
Right.
That's why we're told continually to turn.
Turn
And see love. Turn and see that you are of one.
Right.
Turn until you see
Right. So
the
now,
all.
Right. Yes. Very big stuff. Very big stuff. So now we're becoming.
Again, it makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Good stuff. So let's go to. So that's a big word.
So I just want to say, just to acknowledge you, so that when people are listening to this, so as I take the time trying to present things to you that are listening, and I'm making all the PowerPoint presentations, it takes me away from being able to study on my own. And the way that my husband assists me in order to assist you is he continues to dig to present to me so that I'm being fed so that I then in turn can help. It's okay, Mishka. It's okay. So then I can turn and then take what I'm being fed and be able to continue to expand myself so that I can release it back. So I just want to acknowledge that and to say thank you, my husband, for being such a great teacher and sharing these things with me.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And because this is what it's all about.
This is like the behind the scenes stuff that people are getting to hear about, but they don't understand how you and I work this way.
Yeah, it's lots of well, we're very, 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 very fortunate and blessed to be able to do this together, and I'm not really so much cared to be up front because I'm just intimately wound in such a beautiful place. I treasure it, but this is how we are representing love by exactly transacting. This isn't a platform that is grandiose.
No.
It is something that is beautifully done in the representation of its frequencies and tension. So I'm able to assist Carrie by doing what I'm intended and purposed to do, and that is called love.
Yeah.
That isn't a box of chocolates or flowers. It's me assisting my wife so she can resonate to a higher frequency, and we go up, and then she shares so you go up.
So then I turn to share that because that's where my bend is to extend the hand for other people to grab a hold.
And what does it do? It completely diminishes fear.
Exactly.
Because we're seeing something that is of purpose, of origin, of intention.
Right.
And if the world doesn't line up with it, then I can easily just push it aside and say,
Well, and say this is not love.
this doesn't resonate to the frequency of that which I am bedecked and adorned in.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't resonate to me. Therefore, it's not my construct.
It's not my reality.
It's not my reality.
This is what we talk about with creating a new reality.
Yes.
As a man thinks, so he
and
is.
You can
and so
only
he
become
creates.
a reality. It's solely dependent on what you partner with as a summation, and that is
Right.
progressional.
Exactly.
We can see a greater potential,
Yeah.
but until we have a willingness to desire to partner with it, how can you become it?
Right.
How can you speak the greater revelation if you don't comprehend the lesser yet? And you're still basically wrestling the lesser.
Right.
And I don't mean that in derogatory. I just is a perspective and a point of view to say we need to be in mature love now. It's time.
Absolutely, it's time.
So let's go to one other word.
Yeah.
7. I heard what you said. Thank you very much. 7646.
Well, I just wanted to share that because that's why we have mature love between us. Because we understand each other's roles and we respect and honor those things and we build and support through love unconditional.
And it doesn't mean we don't wrestle.
Oh, no.
Wrestling is the sheen because
if they just listen to us talking, you can see us wrestle as I get excited and you're like, I got to finish what I got to say.
But the sheen is on. It's the root where we have the word iron sharpens iron. It's right in the sheen breakdown.
Yeah.
So we sharpen by saying, okay, this is you, this is me. We're an expression going where we go together. We're going in this, and we're assisting each other because this is part of yoking. If I go full steam ahead, then we're going to be going in circles.
Right, because if you're going ahead and I'm not moving as fast, then I'm the one wheel that's not moving.
We just made a pivot.
Yeah.
So we don't want that. We want to move. And so I have to learn patience.
Right.
As you learn patience with me, and then we move together.
But I also have to work through not being stubborn.
We all have to work through that.
I know, but I'm saying if I'm a wheel that's not moving, there's a reason why.
Okay, I want to get to Ashurah. So let's go. So I just want to show this work because this is connected to Shabbat as well.
Right, to be sated, satisfied.
You've been complete. It's just a primitive root. 99 occurrences.
Of course it would be.
To all be filled to full grown glory. Okay?
Oh my goodness. The very first occurrence has to do with manna.
Yes.
Of course.
This is yeah.
And it's look at those two words right there. It's this word with lamed, and then the very next word is bet. Have it in bet in front of it.
Right.
So it's the teacher of light that is going to come to show you through this word how to eat and what to be full of so that you can build the temple of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your daily manna, your bread, lechem.
Yes.
In the morning.
So
Bebeker.
Yeah. So a lot right there. So your screen sharing so people can, if they want to be filled. I feel so void. Why am I? Like we're asking questions. We're just simply saying, have you looked over here? Have you looked over there?
Right.
So your screen sharing is now assisting people to say, wow, now we can answer fuller questions from a fuller perspective, right?
And this is why we get up so doggone early in the morning.
I was up at 12:30 last night.
Oh, I was sleeping on that one.
But again,
I did hear you get up, but I was not getting up then.
But it's my privilege to do it because the Spirit wakes me up and it's quiet and I get to do this stuff and then we all benefit. So
just to let everybody know, he went to bed at 5:30 last night.
Right. But this is my altar. This is my altar that I choose to lay on.
Your sacrifice.
And I choose to consume myself up so I can be the essence of the nature of that which is consuming me.
Exactly.
And that again is my privilege and my honor. Okay, so let's just leave that, the Sheen Bet Ayin. This is one that's consumed now. And you can see that Shabbat 7650 to 7646, the Dagesh moved from the queen position to the king position.
Exactly.
As a filled full in satisfaction now. So this is now king-queen.
So just to let people know, it's the little dot that's on top.
Yeah.
So the one on the right-hand side represents queen. The one on the left represents king, which is the teachings of mother versus the teachings of father.
Right. And remember, king and queen are, again...
They're one coin with two different faces.
It's a frequency.
Yep.
That's seeking to find harmony as one frequency.
Yep.
And so it's a resonance of this. And so we can remove ego and pride of I'm king, you're queen, I'm woman, I'm man. that all goes away. All the rest of Sabbath, it's on this day, it all goes away. Black, white, no. Be a human being. Every day we compress the light of love, or love's light. That's what it is. Every
Well,
day.
we compress the light of love so that we can become love's light.
Right. All right. I got to change out. We're going to move really quick here. So I need you to go to, please, what is love? Let's go down a render clear Ashurah. 842, please. Now, we're talking about establishing principalities and powers. What is in play right now in the negative reality is a principality and a power that is working in the void part of things. It's not producing love, therefore it is a contraction, and it's producing what is unsustainable. Unsustainable love, which is defined as vanity, which extrapolates out to pride's egoic nature, self-consuming. It has to feed off of those that are producing love to be sustainable, right? So hold on. So here we go. Now we're breaking down to our start date. So let's break this down. This is the Phoenician goddess. Now remember, I want to make this clear. Goddess is a breakdown. It's not goddess. There is no S in here. It is a frequency. We call it goddess, and everyone runs from the word. It's the goddess this. It is the frequency of Olive, Sheen, Resh, Hay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. We get caught up in the English translations of the words.
Yes. So all it is one that is consumed in the fire of becoming the Rosh, the head, fully consumed in the revelation of the breath. That's what it is. You're breathing in the frequency of love.
But because it is feminine, we are talking about bringing forth the divine feminine.
But that is within us all.
Exactly. I'm
So
just,
you're
yes.
bringing, you're finding if you're
So you're yoking the divine masculine and the divine feminine into being one in you.
If you are heavily dominant in male and masculinity, then this will balance you out if you're able to ingest it correctly, or vice versa. If you're heavily feminine, then this will balance you out, render things into perspective. This is how it
Yeah,
works.
because typically, like a male or a female body typically has a lot of male energy. A male body typically has a lot of female energy as far as just the energetic for balance.
Right.
Because we have to be balanced that way.
Absolutely. So now let's root this out. So you can see in this word it's Asher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is 833. So now we can take Astarte, because that's Ashurah too. It's the same word. It's a Phoenician goddess, but it's an image. And what is it the image of? You can say that this is.
And it means happy. That's right. It means happy.
So this is happy. So, but this is the image of love. These are
Right.
now, because we haven't. This is still the revelation of it, right? Because it's got the hay on Ashurah.
Right.
So this is the breath of it. What is the breath of love? It's being happy. Now we can define happy what it is because it's directly.
So when somebody asks us, "Are you truly happy?" You
Yeah.
and I can most definitely say, "Yes, we are."
If you don't know the definition, then you're answering from a lesser narrative of going like that as the world has defined happy, right? So we can now associate to the frequency of love.
And in the middle of this, Sheen Resh means an heir apparent to the throne.
Yes, because this is all based off principalities and powers.
Exactly.
This is all what's coming down is we're turning principalities and powers by doing what? By building the principality and power of love. That's what's coming down. This is what's happening right now is we're building the frequency of love to turn it from the beastly nature into its measure of intention and not dwelling in this anymore. So let's go. So we see Ashurah, 833, and we can break that down. Let's go to 833. It means to go straight, to go on.
Are we going to come back to this first occurrence of Ashurah? Just what I'm seeing on the front page?
I'm just gonna go to 836, and then we're gonna come back to that.
Just 836?
Go to 836, so we know that it's happy one, so people can see it. Because this is all connected.
Yep.
Okay.
The son of Jacob. Yep.
Okay, so this is a happy one. So now we're bringing in the brotherhood because this is still connected to the ephod. All of this is connected to the ephod because it's the 12 gemstones that are really an outward adornment of an inward reality.
Right.
And so it's breaking this down as well as we go. You just can't miss any of the pieces. But so we can go back now. If you want to go back to the first occurrence of that, and you want to break that down.
Yeah, I only just what I'm seeing right here, because this whole thing right here, and cut down their Asherim.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what they did is they cut down love.
Well, but that's what it says in English.
Right.
But this word karat means to cut a covenant.
Right.
So they're saying they cut down the Asherah poles, and this is saying I cut a covenant in love to establish the Asherah.
Which are the unconditional conditions of love.
Yep. In becoming the love without conditions.
So when people say, well, the covenant.
And how do they do it? Through the Vav Aleph Tav, which is that Vav Aleph Tav that we saw in Genesis 1:1 that is connecting heaven to earth.
Yes, that's right. So it's not that we're in the new covenant.
That's so crazy.
Yeshua was really the manifestation of the covenant to say, you guys aren't getting it yet. There needs to be full representation.
Well, because it also means the restored covenant.
So he came as the restoration to say.
Of the covenant of love.
Fully restoration as a frequency means I am representing.
Right.
So now, so absolutely. So you now see that there's conditions to unconditional love, and it's in this. And this, what we're building now, is the condition of love. It's a heart condition. Covenant dwells in the heart. It's weaving it together to know that mother has a condition and father has a condition. What is the condition? To weave them back together in one frequency.
Yeah.
And you don't get to weave it back by being a deceit. Now, this is where we get deceitfully wicked, because that's not what it's saying. It says we've been deceived. The heart has been deceived.
Because it was told that it was deceitfully wicked when it was really the word that means it was feeble and melancholy, because it was desiring that which it once had. But it says that it has, there's no reason for it.
If
you're melancholy, but you don't know why you're melancholy, because you forgot.
If you're not whole, then you're part, and you're not the full manifestation of representation. So you're going to be in a weaker representation versus the full version.
Exactly, because we're all seeking love.
That's why it was pulled out of us. And if we can see it correctly, then we can establish one again, and then we're made whole, and we're no longer. And this is where you start to see the definition, as you know, of Isha, Ish, right? Enosh, weak and feeble, and then how it establishes back to the first intention of fire.
Yep. Yeah, because it goes from, we should probably show people that, because it goes from Anash, so Ish, Strong's Hebrew man Ish, if it pulls it up. Yep, there it is. Just so people can see this. Yeah. So it goes from Ish, it means man, and notice that it's the word fire, olive sheen, but now it has a yod entered in the middle of the heart.
Now you have vision.
You have the vision, you have the power of love.
Yeah, right. You have the power now established as really prognostication. You've looked at it, and it's prophecy within you now that you're fulfilling prophecy by enacting with the vision. And that's how you connect this. And this is what we're doing. We're prognosticating for creating neuroplasticity. We're creating, that's just a fancy way.
We're creating new neural pathways for us to experience new things.
That's all. We're rewriting a code.
Right, so that we stop taking the same pattern. We create a new pathway.
Okay, so we need.
So Ish goes to Enosh, which is mankind, but it has the Vav, so it means their heart's been pierced.
Yeah.
And it comes from Anash, which then is to be weak, sick, and melancholy. Right there. Just so that people can see it. Yep. Okay.
Okay. So that's why we're in the process, we're becoming. And now let's go back to 842. So let's go back to the Phoenician goddess, which is it's just a word there. They're using it. You have to render it down clear. And now there's an extraction on that word, Ashtoreth, and it's 6253. And you should see the goddess of love. But it's not the goddess of love. It simply is the frequency of now You are
Love and increase.
You are filled right up with the ayin. Now you have the eye to see the consuming fire. The covenant now is in your heart. You are now the head fire of the covenant. Or you are now woven in the frequency of mother's love and father's love, and you're able to see it now. The fire is within you. This is love. This is
why there's so much confusion between Astarte, Ashurah. It's the process of becoming in increment decrees as we step up in an ascent.
And you're going to see it right in here. I'm going to show you.
That is beautiful.
Yes, these are steps.
Yep.
I don't like the word steps. I like the word measures.
Gradation.
Right. It's just
gradual increase.
It's just gradual inclination up a mountainscape until you resonate to the top of the mountain. It's just the same language over and over.
So this now is the Sheen Resh that has the Tav in the middle.
Yes.
This is an heir to the throne that has the Tav, the frequency of love within them.
Yes, you are now God of love.
Exactly.
This is a pretty stout word right here with the vibration of the letters, and what it's saying is like you can even take this at Tav Resh Tav. You are now head fire between mother and father's covenantal conditions of love.
Well, and then if you look at that first occurrence of it, it's Solomon. Shalom, it's Shalama. So the completion of the works where you're safe in mind, body, and estate that has the revelation of the one love, that afterwards, because it means after, then it's this word Astarte. And then it's Elohi. It's Elohi.
Yes.
El that has the revelation of love and now is carrying the power of it and gives it.
Yes.
Because the Yod is the hand that gives away.
Yes.
Gives love.
Yes. Absolutely. There's a lot. There's Torah lessons in here that you can do. But even if you just go back to the root of that word, the Aleph is now filled up with the ayin. The ayin is now the eye that sees. You're now knowing. You've moved into the knowing part. So the ayin is actually an Aleph because they're all fragments of one another. So you still have fire on the front of this, and really what this is saying, these are three reshes on the Tav Resh Tav.
What are we looking at here?
You're looking at 6253.
Okay.
I'm just giving more of an advance.
Okay.
That really what this saying is, this is an eye that is ablaze.
Oh my goodness, that's like Lord of the Rings.
You're now a blazing eye.
But they perverted it.
Yes. Your now eyes are ablaze, and you are seeing through what love is. You're seeing through the lenses of love right now. And the leg on the Tav and the leg on the Tav is really humility on the right, meekness on the left, and you stand in between the parents as a complete risen head. Meekness now props you up in the fullness, holding accountable to the measure of love.
And Resh also means when you raise up, you're a first fruit. And this connects to 144.
Right, and how do you spell Resh again? You're going back to the...
Resh, Aleph, Sheen.
Right. So
the head that has fire upon it.
So you're back again to the head of fire.
Which is the tongues of fire that was lighted upon them in the day of Pentecost.
Right.
Was this.
Right. This is what it was. Love came upon